I know.
I get excited about making art.
It's cool.
Everybody, and this is really cool. It's just a pretty color. Welcome back to the studio, a recorded version. We got some really cool stuff in the mail not too long ago, and I'm finally getting to it. From Royal Talens, it's COBRA Water Mixable Oils. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited, and I know, Kristen, you're excited as well, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Woohoo!
Because we've been trying to become a little more environmentally friendly with our art production because I produce so much, and getting away from some of the things like solvents, which are very not good.
And plastics.
And the plastics too. So this, you don't have to use a solvent for this stuff. It's fantastic, it's great, we just love it. It's very beautiful, high pigmented oils, very high pigmented in this oil. It's the artist version. They have a studio version too, which has a little less pigment, and I actually could tell the difference, and there's plenty of people that have compared it with the swatches and stuff. Check that out. So I'm going to wear gloves because they are still straightforward Linseed type oil paints. They're oil paints, 100% oil paints. But we can use water as a cleaner for cleaning your brushes, and you can go one-to-one mixture with these things too, which is really cool. So you can go one-to-one mixture with the water up to that. Beyond that, then they say they can't guarantee adhesion and such with it. So that's why we're going to stick within the confines of that. So we're going to mix one-to-one water here in this container. I'm going to use it kind of like a wash. Oh, it just goes on so creamy. So this just mixes so nice. This is just water. Mixes beautiful little brightly colored. The pigments are all very excellent pigments. And this is a demonstration, so we're going to, try to expedite a few things here and there versus what I might do under normal painting situations. So you like to work in oils, Kristen?
I do. That was my primary media when I was a painter.
Was it?
Yeah. Mostly because an old dude took pity on me and gave me a giant bag full of old paints. So it was free.
Free oil.
And that's how I learned to paint, was with oils.
There's so much. So there you go. That's basically a one-to-one. Might be a little thinner, but we're not going to worry about that a lot. So you can start this the same way. Starting with using charcoal or pencil, you can block it out. Any other way you start. The only thing is, you don't want to mix it necessarily with acrylics or watercolors or other things. Okay, so I wouldn't necessarily do that. But you could do an underpainting with watercolor, and you could do it that. So I'm just gonna quickly lay out kind of almost a landscape thing. We'll see where it goes. I didn't have a plan for this at all today, so who knows what's going to come out. So this is just charcoal with a K. Just blocking it out. And this is actually it's not really gesso. I ran out of gesso. Did you know that?
I did know that.
Yeah, so this is actually, this is a flat white paint, latex acrylic paint. Right or wrong, Jeff Olsen, the education director for Royal Talens, is going to be here this coming, well not here, virtually here, Saturday. And he's going to simulcast with us. And you can find that recorded somewhere, I'm sure, by the time this comes out. And he's going to tell me everything I can't really be doing that I probably should, that I probably would do normally. So that'll be interesting. It'll be really cool to have him here as an expert via the internet. We've laid out some of that chalk. I'm going to throw some more in here, a little bit brighter orange. And the chalk, or the pastels, are from Rembrandt, which is another brand that I really, really like a lot. Use it a lot for laying in color to block things in, and then also I like to draw over the things with the charcoal. Okay, so let's take some of this wash. I'm just going to pour it on there and see what happens.
What color was that, by the way?
That was, let's see, it's orange, permanent orange. So they don't have the neons yet, you know, the reflex colors.
Yeah, the reflexes that you like in the acrylics.
Yeah, they may get to that eventually, but right now they don't have that. So you can see already, it's just really nice way to get an underpainting in. Just taking it right out of the jar, quickly laying out some sort of structure. Getting it a little bit antique looking because of the charcoal with a K. So anybody that follows us, normally we're doing a lot of lives, and we don't do a lot of recorded anymore because it's hard when you got a kiddo.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
So I'll just throw that right there in the water. Look, it's in the water. Clean that off, I can use it again. It's just so cool. So cool.
Can you talk about the scent?
Yeah, so, yeah, can't you smell at home, viewers?
Smell-o-vision is not real yet.
So, look at that. It's just really nice way to get some color in there. It's just a thin, almost a glazing technique. And by the way, they do have, did you know they have like the same stuff, glazing techniques and stuff? It's made with linseed or I think safflower.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was pretty.
Amazing additives for these from Royal Talens.
So there we go.
But anyway, they're very low odor.
Very low. Yes. Okay. You asked me about it.
They're not going to burn your eyes.
No. And what's interesting is I had some older oil paints too that I took out of the canister. They're sealed because they do smell. The odor was much stronger. This stuff, for some reason, is a lot less, and I don't know the technical reasons. I'm sure that
Jeff
could tell us, right? Is it Jeff?
Yes.
Because there was Jeff today, Jordan and Jeff. People I had to work with today.
No, when I used to paint with oils, about 4 or 5 hours a day for many years, every day my eyes would burn.
Oh, really?
Even before I even learned about turpentine, because I learned on my own, and I didn't even know about that, so I was just straight oil into oil all the time.
Yeah.
Even then my eyes burned.
Okay.
I'm not having any reaction over here.
No, I painted for quite a while. As you know, the other day I painted, and I did this, and I don't know if it's done or not, but I think it's pretty cool. It's different. The oils have properties that I think are different than the acrylics. You can do a lot of stuff with the acrylics that are very, very similar. But it's a different drying. The oil dries differently than acrylic.
Oh, so much different.
Acrylic is an evaporation process. Oils is an oxidation process. So you don't lose, like the structure of it. If you build up the oils, and it'll dry like that. But acrylics, because it evaporates, the ridges and stuff that you might put in it, just disappear and slump. They kind of smooth out.
A little less sculptural.
I think so. I'm guessing here how much that is. For demonstration purposes, and this is a permanent red-violet light. It looked like a pretty color.
Did you get the pro or the student version here?
No, this is the artist.
Okay, this is the artist.
I guess what you would call the pro, right?
Yeah.
So we'll just mix this up again. It could have had this pre-mixed, but you can edit it out.
You talk so quickly, that's unlikely.
I get so excited.
I know.
I get excited about making art.
It's cool.
Everybody, and this is really cool. It's such a pretty color. Can you see that, guys? I don't know if that shows up there. Can you see that over there? So again, I'm trying to mix it fairly quickly. What else was really cool about it? Now you do have a long dry time. Like it can be kind of skimmed over and dry. The thinner it is like this, it can dry a lot faster.
Yeah, well there's accelerators you can add.
There is. There's some caveats to that too, which we'll talk about in a future video. But he was saying that, the thicker it is, much like normal oils, the longer it takes to set up, right? And the thinner it is, the faster. So because this is thin with water, this base layer, you could do this with the base layer, it would dry fairly quickly within, a few weeks maybe, or maybe even to the touch, within a week. And then you can varnish it. Now, I did ask him, do I have to varnish this stuff? And he said no, not necessarily. The pigment is really high, it's high quality paint. the purpose for doing the varnish would be over time to keep dust off of it from dirt getting to it and things like that, and then they can always replace the varnish. The varnish is replaceable. The problem is, it's a solvent-based varnish, so I'm not real keen on that.
Let's talk about, are these archival quality?
Oh yeah, so this is, anybody that knows this stuff, these are number 3. So, and on each one of these you're going to find little symbols, pluses, and in the square box is an opaque color. It says, and there's 3 pluses, so this is high quality archival. Light fast, I think, is a better way of saying it. But look at that, it just goes on so beautifully. And this is just again, straight out of this. Let's pour a little bit over here. Try a little bit.
Just zoom in there, okay?
And then I'm going to use that rubber spatula. I'm going to get a bigger one. This came from my mom. Did you know these were mom's?
No.
So now we're already creating some layers. You can see one color reacting to the other. Just gorgeous, gorgeous color. Look at that color. I'm so excited to get some of the other ones that they have that are really bright. So I just keep a handy towel around and wipe it off as I go. I didn't have any problem with spreading it around the studio, which was cool. You can draw over this again, you know, you can layer things on, but it is oil, so it will resist a little bit. But you can see I can still do some mark making on layers and build up the layers. You could let this dry and then do another layer on it, or you can keep going, which is what we're going to kind of do here next. And now I can just use my hand too, create some more techniques. And smooth it, brush it in. Let's see what we have if we add some of that kind of shell. We're going to take and put a little blue here. I'm going right directly on. I'm not even mixing this in this case. And then I'm going to take a little bit here. I'm going to do some down here. It's straight out of the tube. You can see how creamy that is. It's just beautiful, buttery, gorgeous. Now, you can mix on the palette, mix it on the painting, which is one of, my preferred technique is usually mixing right on the painting. But you can get muddy in a hurry. Because these are artist quality colors, they won't muddy like a lot of the studio ones, and that's the difference because the pigmentation is usually more pure and higher grade, and so it won't get muddy. So all the techniques I do with my other media, I can do with that. I can use the edge of the blade here to draw through it, create some line structure. Let's see, let's get rid of some of this. So I couldn't quite move it around with that palette or with the blade, so I can take my, like a fan brush, for example. Mix it with fan it out with the fan brush. Same techniques apply to other oil painting techniques. And then, you know, there's so many really good oil painters out there. I'm not one of them. This is the second time in probably 20 years that I've actually picked up oil paint, and it's so exciting to do it, and it's so fun. And so I'm trying to remember kind of the techniques. I don't use a lot of traditional oil painting techniques when I do my acrylics and my mixed media, water media things. But you can still see this is a brush, so we can do some brush work through it. Just like you do with any other fan brush. Scrub it right in there. Pop it back in the water, you can clean that out and be good. Love that fact. Let's get a little white on it. Titanium white is just a brilliant white. It's just very nice. Let's try pouring that down through here. Lovely. Just lovely. Oh, look at that. See how that color just transfers so beautifully. Right through there. So I kind of have to examine how I paint now and embrace the new properties of this really great, awesome material. The COBRA water mixable, there's like, I think 70 colors, something like that. You can check out the website at Royal Talens, and they'll tell you all about it on there. And they've got a lot of instructional videos on their YouTube too that you can check out. But I wanted to show how somebody with not a lot of experience in oils, you can jump right into this and not worry about the turpentine or the mineral spirits, I guess would be more. More loose than that one that I did the other day. I wanted to see how this operated, how it worked with a thinner style, but also just you know, letting it be free flowing, free experience. I like it a lot, I have to say.
What is your favorite or most unexpected aspect of working with this kind of paint?
That, weirdly enough, it immediately changed how I approached the painting process. There's just the buttery, adhesive nature of the oils really shocked me as far as how quickly, just playing with it changed how I did it. I mean, I was just shocked. Now you can mix other oils with this. Like I can go over, I'll show you, I can go over with a paint stick, for example, over the top of this from another brand. I've heard rumor maybe they'll come out with paint sticks someday, we'll see. But this is just another brand of paint stick. And just so you see, we can put that right over the top of that too. But remember, unless you mix this, now you can mix regular oils with the COBRA water mixables, and you can use it, treat it more like a water mixable oil, because the emulsifier in the COBRA will actually make this a little bit more water soluble. So I can still do the same oil techniques, and I can use this to blend in. blending.
See a close up of you blending the traditional with the water soluble here.
Creating some depth.
Look at that, so creamy. Velvet.
So what we've got going on right now is that there's the mixture of the two together, right? So similar techniques. Picking that color up and moving it around in a few places, and we can start to create some softness in the piece if we want. This also creates some contrast in line and texture, and then that will create a little more depth in the pieces we go to. So you can keep layering this up and layering it up as you go, and I like that. Now let's say, now that's not real traditional oils, so you see I can't really affect it too much with the water, but as I mix it with the existing paint, look at that. That's just the water in there. Well, there you have it. That was a really great start to a painting using the COBRA water mixable oil paints today. So much fun. Thank you, Royal Talens, for sending that and letting me work with it. You've been very good over the years. And we're so excited to continue to explore this medium, which doesn't involve having to use spirits or mineral spirits or turpentines or any kind of nasty solvents. So it was a lot of fun to work with. The odor is low, and overall I love working with the pigments. Are great. The Artist Series particularly, they have a studio version that's pretty good too. I mean, for most people it'll be very, very adequate. But I could tell the difference between the studio and the artist colors. Thank you for coming and visiting me in the studio. I'm David Austin with davidaustingallery.com and the beautiful assistant director, full director I guess, because she's the only one in here, Kristen. And we are so happy you were here to join us. So happy you were here to join us today. And we just had a lot of fun with this COBRA water paints. All right, I'm done. Cue the music.